What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell,
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
I grew up in a car-dependent city called London, Ontario, Canada. And despite its Thames River, Oxford Street, and Covent Garden Market, it's nothing like real London. A kind of fake London, if you will. When I arrive in fake London by train, I'm on the side of a high-speed strode across from a surface parking lot. There isn't much left of downtown, and my only option to get anywhere is a taxi. The city is very spread out and designed almost exclusively for cars. Bus service is highly unreliable and slow, and there is no way I would feel safe enough to ride a bike here. And there are regular news stories about people being killed in car crashes, even when they're on the sidewalk. I have to drive pretty much everywhere to do pretty much anything, which I gotta say kinda sucks. I left fake London as soon as I was old enough, and I moved to various different cities and countries before ultimately moving our family to the Netherlands, where we plan to stay indefinitely. Which brings me to Utrecht. Utrecht is a city in the middle of the Netherlands, and I have to go there fairly regularly for one reason or another. The population is very similar to that of fake London, but otherwise these cities are very, very different. So you're probably thinking that it's almost comical to compare Utrecht to London, right? It seems ridiculous because these cities have almost nothing in common. And yet, 100 years ago, they were pretty similar. Sure, the architecture was different, but the fundamental design of the city was pretty comparable. Both were compact, walkable cities full of mixed-use neighborhoods and connected by streetcars, because both cities were founded long before automobiles were invented. Over the 20th century, both cities embraced the automobile, and both cities built wide roads and highways. Utrecht filled in a canal in their city center and turned it into a highway. And London bulldozed a neighborhood to build a wide road straight into downtown. Both cities even bulldozed part of their city center to build a suburban-style shopping mall, and these malls were both the first of their kind in their respective countries. Utrecht was about a decade behind London, but otherwise these cities were on exactly the same path. That is, until about the 1990s, when Utrecht decided to change course due to growing concerns about the negative impact of car-centric development. They made a fundamental decision to make the city friendly to people walking and cycling, to reduce car traffic, and to create greener public spaces. The highway around the city center was turned back into a canal. You never know that this used to be a highway. And today, that downtown shopping center is connected directly to a new train station via a pedestrianized area, and closely integrated with the rest of the city center on the other side. It's such an incredible difference to arrive in this place by train compared to fake London. Despite having almost the same population as my hometown, it hosts the busiest train station in the Netherlands, transporting over 200,000 people per day, with over 1,000 daily departures to national and international destinations. Incidentally, the fake London train station has just 10 departures per day. There are hundreds of destinations within walking distance of the station, and there are great connections to other forms of public transit, including this new tram system. London had plans to build a new tram line a few years ago, but it was canceled, in part because people believed that this city of 400,000 people was too small for a tram line, even though it had one 100 years ago. Underneath the train station in Utrecht is the world's largest bicycle parking garage, with spaces for over 12,000 bicycles. And I can pick up one of the hundreds of rental bicycles using my transit card and cycle to any destination. I can cycle anywhere I want, quickly and easily, and because of the high-quality infrastructure, I never feel unsafe. It also helps that car volumes are low, and so are the speed limits. Near the train station is this street, accessible only to walking, cycling, and public transit. This is one of the busiest cycling paths in the world, and I probably see more people cycling in 5 minutes here than I have in my entire life in fake London.
I don't see no signals. So it look like they
Walking
just,
around the
they
city
just
is
get
Yeah,
also
why not?
convenient and
Somebody had
comfortable.
threw a signal.
Busiest
Oh,
cycling
yeah, I'm
paths
saying, but
in
by the
the
people,
world.
like, you know,
And
cars,
Oh,
you got to
okay.
put signals on. I think the same rule would be for the bikes as well. I mean, hands left, hands right, you know what I'm saying? Up to stop, like, type stuff,
Right,
you know,
like
so.
what we're taught here.
But just to see him doing this Jenga move, it's just like, it look
Well,
crazy.
they must have something. Yeah, I think this is telling them. Obviously, this is telling them to go.
Oh, yeah, the
because
signs
they're-
on the road.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the bus over there stopped. So
Correct.
maybe that's their cue.
That's their cue. The sign is their cue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just this is really different though. This
Yeah.
is you. I should not even. I shouldn't even try. I shouldn't even try.
This reminds me of, y'all know, we always talking about. I think this is like our third year. We always
yeah.
talking about the bikes.
Facts.
Okay,
Facts.
I ran across a video of what is it? A bike bus here, and it's like, I don't know what he is to the school, but obviously he's a part of the school. And all of the children that go to the school, majority of the children that go to the school, they ride their bikes to school
Right.
together, and it's like this big bus. Yeah, it's like cool.
A bike bus.
Justin Timberlake was with him one time.
Oh, I think I saw that video.
I sent it to you.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see it?
Y'all, 2 minutes to count. Don't say you sent me one. Tell them you sent me a lot.
Yeah, I thought
Yo,
that was
and
cool.
then they had the TikTok. You know, I got a whole story about my TikTok and everything, but
Right. I think y'all would like that. I think
that'll be dope.
y'all would appreciate that. I think it's cool to see the kids, you know, with the bikes.
And the thing is, I don't see too many kids. I always see adults.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
see too many kids riding bikes, so
Yeah.
I don't know, might be onto something there.
Probably see more people cycling in 5 minutes here than I have in my entire life in fake London. Walking around the city is also convenient and comfortable. The streets are lined with interesting shops and restaurants, and there isn't a surface parking lot in sight anymore. There are many nice residential neighborhoods, and it's remarkably quiet too, because as I've realized over the years,
How quiet?
cities aren't loud, cars are loud. There isn't a lot of traffic because there are viable alternatives to driving. People aren't forced to drive here, so the only people in cars are those who need to drive or those who really want to drive.
I don't know. I feel like y'all give people in cars a hard time out there.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, because I feel like the eyeball.
Yeah.
Off the real, I feel like the eyeball. And then y'all know like the rules of the road so well. I feel like y'all would give people a hard time if they do one little mistake, especially with the cars.
OMG, I'm just picturing us going visit, right? And
Right.
we get a car.
Of
First
course.
of all, why is the gas so high? But second of all,
Come
why I
on, man.
can't turn on this street?
Right.
Because the only real street that we know of here, you know what, we be, right, would be the French Quarters. Like, you know,
Oh, them tight roads.
a lot of roads you can't go down.
We
you
got
know?
stuck on that one time. You remember we got stuck?
Yeah, with all the people just
And the
passing
traffic
by.
and it was bad.
Yeah, because their pedestrians have the right of way. Yeah, and it's kind of somber to be talking about it, but
Yeah,
We're
they
gonna
don't stop.
continue.
Yeah, the traffic don't stop.
Utrecht has many places that are off limits to cars, but motor vehicles are still extremely useful sometimes.
Sometimes.
So access is still provided for delivery trucks, emergency vehicles, and people with disabilities. I've been constantly told that we need to design for cars because of families, the disabled, or the elderly. And yet I see all of those people getting around just fine. Because universal access
Yeah,
to
he gone
mobility
on that.
isn't
Yeah,
a
it's-
fundamental
gone.
issue.
Yeah, pretty fast.
It's a problem caused by
Hold
car
up.
dependency. Would this guy be better off in a car? Maybe. I didn't ask him. But it's not like he's unable to get around independently here,
Choice.
like would be the case where I'm from. Now, Utrecht isn't perfect, and the city still shows the scars of that 1960s car-centric development. But it is a city that is improving rapidly. It seems like every time I go there, there's some new project underway to make the city better. If you'd like to learn more, the channel Bicycle Dutch regularly makes videos about the improvements happening in Utrecht, and I'll leave a link in the description. Now, the immediate question that this comparison raises in the minds of most Canadians and Americans is, what should I do to repair my North American city? And the short answer is, join your local advocacy group or Strongtown's local conversation. Advocacy is local. The best way to repair your city entirely depends on where you live, the factors that affect your neighborhood, and ultimately, how much damage was done by car infrastructure. The correct approach for, say, a German living in Berlin would be completely different than an American living in Phoenix, which is why you shouldn't be getting your advice from YouTubers, Instagrammers, or TikTokers. You should be talking to your local advocacy groups. What I wouldn't recommend, though, is to blindly try to replicate what the Dutch did in the 1970s. First of all, the Dutch protests were not unique.
Yeah, the
For
protest for
example, there's a
this.
lot of talk in urbanist circles about the Stop de Kindermoord protests in the Netherlands in the 1970s, when parents were angry that children were being killed by cars. But you
Wait,
hear almost nothing about the baby carriage blockades in the 1940s and 1950s in the
uh-huh.
United States that were done for exactly the same reason. The internet is full of these images of Amsterdam in the 60s versus Amsterdam today. The ones by Thomas Schleiper in particular are really great. And if your goal is to convince people that it is possible for cities to change for the better, as Brent often does, then this is fine, of course. But it's good to keep in mind that these images can be misleading and possibly even counterproductive when it comes to actually improving North American cities.
Yeah, so I wouldn't sleep on those people. No, the ones that actually go out and fight and actually discuss these topics with the city, so they can try to get difference, especially with kids involved, like as you guys see with the mothers and whatnot. And just in general, they have people who actually like plant trees and things for the community so they can get
Yeah.
more greenery around. I feel like those people don't sleep on them. They're not under a rock. I really feel
Right.
like that's a big community of them. You know what
I
I'm saying?
think so too. Maybe not in Texas though, because
Nah,
baby, they building a bridge every 2 days.
it don't stop. The
Every 2
woo,
days.
man,
Okay.
yeah. It don't stop.
With a toll.
Bro, oh, the tolls.
Child, listen, your favorite
Tolls.
route to work?
The tolls, man, it ain't nothing.
Gotta find another route. Gotta
That
go
back
through the
road got to
neighborhood.
be a back road for real, cause they
Ain't no-
taxing,
Listen,
I hate this
back roads
image
gonna
of
disappear.
Zaalstraat in
bro.
Amsterdam in
Sooner or
particular,
later,
especially when it's paired up with some nice street in Amsterdam
Oh,
today.
that's
that's a
nice.
huge
Because for
drastic
one,
change.
this was an unusually large traffic
I
jam,
didn't know what
likely
y'all was doing.
because this bridge was open during rush hour. But more importantly, because Zaalstraat is almost exactly the same today, and it still sucks. There are certainly more people who
Oh.
cycle here than 40 years ago, and that's
The car
important.
on the
It
But the
does look
design
like a
of
whole
the
lot
street
going on,
hasn't
though.
improved at all. I talked about this street 3 years
Oh,
ago in
Lord.
my most dangerous places to cycle in Amsterdam video, and it's one of the only streets I talked about that hasn't been improved since then. Like, seriously, Van Vouwstraat was also featured in that same video, but it's been recently blocked off to through traffic, and the design is much better. It's genuinely nice to be on this street now. This image is actually accurate, though. This really does show a legitimate before and after of Eerste van der Helstraat in De Pijp in Amsterdam. But this brings me to my next issue with these images because
They done
when
took
people
the-
online talk about Amsterdam in the 1970s, they almost exclusively talk about peaceful protest, which completely ignores the fact that a lot of the protests were not peaceful. The reason Amsterdam is as nice as it is today is
Wait a
because
minute.
people literally fought for it, like got in fist fights in the streets.
Uh-oh.
I've received a lot of criticism from American advocates, especially, that the tone of my YouTube videos is inappropriate and that I need to
Oh.
be nicer.
Oh,
Which
Yo.
makes me
nicer.
laugh every time because I imagine the response from those same people if I said that they should try flipping cars on their sides, spray painting car free on them, and using them to block the street.
Okay.
Because protests
Bro,
like
I'm just trying to get to work.
For real.
I am trying to mess with none of y'all like that. I just got some bills that need to get paid. I gotta make sure my family eating that night. Feel me? You just gotta get to and fro. Don't stop me. Just let me go around.
This reminds me of a video I ran across. I think it was California, where the people was literally sitting in the street.
Bruh, yeah, like literally
Ah.
fitting to get ran over.
Yeah, like
Like they don't
I
move.
understand. I understand
They
protests.
don't move.
I stand behind protests if it's a good reason. But, baby, the lady was right. She needs to go to the hospital. And she was right there.
Man,
And you're blocking her.
right.
And the lady got so mad and got out her car and moved them. Physically moved them.
Yeah, these type of protests can get very dangerous because
Yeah.
you're obviously putting your body in front of a moving vehicle.
It-
You
it
really fight
can.
hard to make sure that you guys are getting what it is, and for anybody in any location that you get what you want whenever
Right,
you
right.
get into these positions.
Definitely.
But Lord, to sit in front of a moving car,
Ooh, child.
just trying to get to work.
Mm.
Say, get out your car,
I
get on a
understand
bike,
though. I understand.
get on a bike.
I understand. But some things be safe.
Yes.
At or why Ferdinand Bolstraat in De Pipe is almost completely car-free today.
They did
Would
that.
I advocate for that? I mean, it would be really funny. But I'm not convinced that this approach would work in the North America of today. The truth
Nah.
is that the Dutch approach worked
Really
for
good.
many
Small
reasons.
town.
Some of it because of the tireless work of advocates and protesters, but also for economic, social, and political reasons, as well as good timing. Most notably, the oil crisis of the 1970s,
Oh
where the
yeah, they.
government was forced to institute mandatory car-free days.
Wow.
If you're actually interested in this, there is
Car-free
this great
days.
paper that goes into more detail, link in the description. And I think it's important to understand this context because the North America of today is nothing like the Netherlands of the 1970s. There is a fundamental difference between fighting to keep your traditional neighborhood from being destroyed by car infrastructure versus trying to repair your city when downtown has been bulldozed to build surface parking lots, nobody has been allowed to live there for years due to exclusionary zoning, urban sprawl has been the only legal type of development for decades, public transportation is nearly useless, almost every household owns multiple pickup trucks or SUVs,
We do.
and there is no one left alive who remembers what the city was like before it was overrun by cars. Which is why I don't make videos about how Amsterdam became bike friendly. I make videos about strong towns and how car dependent American style suburbia is dangerous, unhealthy, financially insolvent, and in general, just a shitty way to live. So if you
I never thought about it though. See,
What?
like driving on the highway when you really, I'm talking about like punching and you just flying, going fast. Like it's not dangerous, but to some people they would say that's dangerous.
On a highway is
But it's
different,
I
though.
get it, but I never
That's
sat
different.
back to look at my meter and say, yo, I'm really pushing it. I'll be like I just be going.
Because you're not seeing people walking. Well, we see people walking on the side of the highway, but
Yeah, I feel like we got like a very small
Yeah.
community when it comes to like people actually walking in.
it depends on the city.
It depends. I finna say that
Because
too. It
small
depends.
towns, people walk.
Yeah, I see a lot of people walking, but as in being in Texas, it's like,
Oh, no.
you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a whole lot of cars.
Barely see people. Oh my God. Texas is.
Yeah,
When they say Texas is full, they meant it, okay?
that is not a lie. That is
Yeah. But like there
that's not a
are
lie.
some walkable cities. Like,
Definitely,
Like
yeah.
New Orleans is a walkable city.
Mhm.
You know, there's public transport. It could be better, but that's like, yeah. There's.
But you see, that's fun in that though. Like you park your car and you hop out and you walk because all the stores are literally next door to one another.
Okay.
You can go eat, you can go shop for
That's not
shoes.
walkable.
You can go to some location. They got tattoo
Yeah,
shops.
yeah.
Whatever you want to do, like lounge and look, kicking and chill with the family. They literally have everything for those times frames of how far you walk.
Yeah, but do you see like them shutting down roads and like making it
Nah, never.
just available to people
No,
walking?
never happening. I say that because the style of the car culture is like it's just too. It's too good. It's too classic. It's too futuristic, and it's mad classic at the same time. I don't see
Right.
people just upping it up and saying, "Yo, we're gonna do bikes all day."
No,
I don't see it
I
happening.
don't see it. And we are seeing a trend with the master build communities where they have everything that you'll need right
part.
by their home.
That part,
Like
yep.
the grocery stores, the post office, the children's park, the restaurants, entertainment center. We see a lot of those master build communities. I was gonna say just Texas, but no, we're seeing it in Louisiana as well.
Oh yeah,
so,
definitely,
So yeah,
definitely.
and they walk in their community,
I
but
mean,
they
but
still
it's
drive.
and it's reasonable. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It makes
right.
sense. You know.
live in North America and you want your city to improve, then join Strong Towns and find a local safe streets or urbanist advocacy group in your city. Because they certainly exist, and they know a lot more about your neighborhood than some YouTuber. From there, you can do the second most important thing, which is to attend community engagement meetings about the changes happening in your area.
Yeah.
This is important because otherwise the only people there will be a bunch of cranky boomers who only showed up because they have
Listen.
literally nothing better to do than to complain
Listen.
about parking.
Hey.
They
But
gonna show
beyond
up.
that,
Shout out
I'm
to
not
them.
going to make any more specific recommendations because fundamentally, Not Just Bikes is not an advocacy channel. I was an advocate for many years, but that life is behind me now. Plus, about 2/3 of my audience isn't even from the US or Canada, and they have limited interest in American-centric topics. If that's the kind of content you want, that's great, but you should probably be watching a channel like Strong Towns if you want to learn more about North American advocacy. I'll put a link to their channel in the description. Now, despite the fact that I'm not personally interested in making American advocacy videos, I have heard from literally hundreds of people who were encouraged to become advocates because of my channel, and I love that. And Strong Towns have told me that Not Just Bikes has been a major source of new members for them, which is amazing. I've even had a significant number of people tell me that they've decided to study urban planning because of my videos, which I must admit makes me a little bit nervous because I've never studied urban planning or worked as an urban planner, so I'm not really sure what it's like to actually do that job. But then I remember reading that enrollment into archaeology programs spiked after the first Indiana Jones movie was released, and I suspect that those people were in for much more of a shock than any of my fans will be. From the very beginning of this channel, I did not want to be prescriptive. I don't know who you are, I don't know what your situation is, so I don't want to tell you what to do. My main goal with this channel has always been to talk about my personal experiences in cities.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stop right there. Yo, I was listening to it. I'm like, yo, I think he's just giving everybody their flowers.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, make sure you guys go check his channel out. I think these videos is basically for open-minded people, not for people that like has a locked into opinion of how they feel towards something. Because you may not want the car infrastructure, and you may actually have something negative to say. You know what I'm saying?
I like my car.
She locked in, but I feel like for these videos, it's for people who can just make a choice. You know what I'm saying? And find out which works better for you. Go out there, experience it. You might like it.
Yeah.
Come back, you know.
I think since watching his videos, I have become open-minded.
Yeah.
I still like my car very much so.
That is true. That is very true.
But I have become open-minded, and it's made me want to visit places like the Netherlands to see how that feels to just be in a city and travel everywhere around the city with children.
Yep.
And maybe a dog. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know if she's coming abroad. But, and just see how it is.
Facts.
Be open-minded. But also, when I come back to the United States, I'm still getting in my car.
Yeah.
Okay. But like, the what is it called? I still don't know how to pronounce the name. Bakfiet, I think. The little bike with the attachment for the children.
You be doing a good job. I think you A+ that one.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, 100%.
Thank you.
100%.
Like I would like to experience something like that. Like see how it is.
Yeah.
Do it in the rain, because you know it be raining out there. Right.
Do it in the rain.
How would I feel? Would my radio still work? Like, will I get angry, or will I be like, oh, just playing in the rain, la la la. You know.
That part, I don't think they talk about that.
Right. I mean, we saw how to survive the Netherlands in the rain. Something
But
like that.
but not the bike culture.
Oh yeah.
So.
Because what y'all do?
What do y'all do
during those times?
Y'all gotta. Ooh,
or do y'all just get a big umbrella?
Right. Or y'all pick up like the plastic, and then y'all got wheels underneath. Ooh, that's probably dope. They probably do that.
Because listen, if I just got my hair done, it's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to have plastic on your head or something.
Yes.
Ain't no umbrella big enough.
It's a problem if I just got my hair done. This is okay. This is natural. This could get wet.
Shout out.
But maybe if I got a silk press, oh, we got a problem. Yeah. But all right. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.